Are Fitbits waterproof? This cup of water was sitting here, and then I literally knocked my Fitbit directly into it, like submerged. Couldn't have done that again if I tried. We'll find out later today. Happy Wednesday, everybody, and happy day 20 of Vlogmas. Today we are doing a workout from BODYFIT by Amy, so I've never heard of before. So I really took my time poking around all of her offerings, and she offers a lot of different options. The workout we're doing today is the Total Body MRT with Weights workout. So MRT stands for Metabolic Resistance Training. I actually call it Metcon or metabolic conditioning. They're pretty much the same thing. So as we're getting ready for our day, let's talk about what the heck does that mean. So metabolic conditioning, MRT, Metcon, whatever the heck you want to call it, it essentially means that you're working both your aerobic and your anaerobic systems during the same workout. This often gets branded as like a way to burn fat faster, but it honestly doesn't make that big of a difference. Remember, we've talked about this with energy expenditure as a whole. Something might burn more calories from fat in the moment. Something might burn more calories in general in the moment. But really what matters most is zooming out, looking at the big picture of your week, month, year. And if your goal is to lose fat, the number one thing it does come down to is just calories in, calories out. Obviously, there's a lot more nuance in terms of what your resting metabolic rate is, all of the things that go into that. But what we have access to today in terms of studies show that that is the thing that will determine if you do actually lose fat. So when Metcon workouts inevitably become like the next hot thing, the next miracle cure, you're gonna be smarter. I like Metcon workouts because Jesus. They're fun, they can add some variety. I especially love them if you have like an endurance-based focus, but you do kind of get to kill two birds with one stone, strength and conditioning. I will say you have to be careful with the rest that you program, because if you don't program enough before you go back into your strength work, the whole workout's just gonna end up being cardio. And so this kind of brings us into the anaerobic and aerobic systems, because that's really what we're doing with Metcon. We're training both of those systems. So let's talk about what this means in the simplest way that I can explain it. Your body uses something called ATP as energy on the cellular level. So for our purposes in this conversation, ATP equals energy. Your body will have a certain amount of ATP stored in your cells to use as energy on quick bursts. And that would be called anaerobic activity. So anaerobic activity is going to use the energy stored in your cells, and then you're going to have enough rest time after, or recovery time after, for your body to naturally replenish that ATP. Some examples of anaerobic training would be sprinting and strength training, because you're doing these things in short bursts and then you're taking recovery time. Aerobic activity is when you've used up all of your stored ATP, so now your body needs to basically take oxygen and convert it into ATP, or convert it into energy. Some examples of aerobic training would be running, or most YouTubers' strength workouts. Ooh. And let me explain to you why this is an important distinction. When you introduce a specific stimulus to your body is going to produce a specific adaptation. So what are these adaptations? Anaerobic training is going to produce more fast twitch muscle fibers for strength, power, and hypertrophy. You're going to have better lactic acid tolerance for muscular endurance, and it's going to increase the amount of energy, or ATP, available to the muscles, aka your body gets better and more efficient at storing energy for later use. Aerobic activity is going to produce more slow twitch muscle fibers, which is used for endurance and joint stability. It's going to help create more and bigger blood vessels, especially in zone 2 training, so you're going to have a better aerobic capacity, and it's going to increase the mitochondria, aka the powerhouse of your cells, to help create more ATP. So you can see why they're both important, they both support each other, but there are different adaptations that will happen in your body. Also note that none of these adaptations are aesthetic. So in today's workout, we're basically looking for both strength and endurance drills with enough rest time for the strength drills to actually keep it as anaerobic training in that portion of it. That way, the whole workout doesn't just become one big aerobic session. Again, there's nothing wrong with aerobic training. You should be doing it, but you should be doing both. We have to keep moving, so let's talk about schedule for the day. So it's about 8:30 right now. I have my first client at 9, so I'm going to her to train. Then, oh boy, we're coming back and we're doing this workout. I am teaching an upper body class today. I don't usually teach Wednesday afternoons, but basically I teach a lot of my strength programming in 4 sets or 4 weeks. So it's like progressive, and we're kind of building off the same thing for 4 weeks. And I want to get this series of stability workouts done before the new year so we can start fresh with a new program. So I just kind of shoved this workout on today. I have a virtual client after that. Then I've got to edit that class. Then we'll come back and chat about the workout. And then I have a dance cardio holiday themed event event that I'm doing virtually for a corporate company. And then I've got to edit today's video. So nothing too crazy today. I'm looking forward to trying this workout, and I will see you all in a little bit. Let's talk about the workout. Did I enjoy it, and was it science-backed? Flip that order. We already talked earlier in the intro about what we're looking for in a metabolic style of workout. And I will say Amy used a really cool structure that I would never have thought of and have never seen before. We basically did a circuit of strength, and then we did a circuit of those strength movements as combo movements. So for instance, in circuit 1, we did a lower body movement, then upper, then lower, then upper, then core. And then the next time we went through these movement patterns, we combined them. So we did a combo move of the first upper and lower exercise, then a combo move of the second lower and upper exercise. And then the core movement was done longer and either at a faster tempo or adding something onto it. This was the basic structure. She did deviate from it a little bit at the end. Like I did get a little confused as to where that format went, but that's totally fine. Typically what I either do or see in Metcon workouts is like maybe supersets of a strength drill followed by more of a cardio endurance drill and then a longer rest time. So I liked the structure and I thought it was really smart. The work to rest time, especially in the strength, was also pretty good. We typically worked for like 40 seconds, which is typically going to give you about 10 reps of a drill. And then even though we didn't have a ton of rest time into the next exercise, we were alternating lower and upper body. So our lower body was resting as our upper body was moving. We've talked a lot about rest time, especially in the Sydney Cummings video, but in a shorter workout, you have to get really strategic with the order of your exercises if you are trying to work for strength at all, or traditional strength, we can say. There's a lot of different types of strength, but in a workout like this, you do want to make sure that you are getting anaerobic training as well as the aerobic. So I thought that was a really smart way to get that done in a short amount of time. And honestly, I don't think we need to harp on this too much. Like we really talked about the ins and outs of metabolic conditioning at the beginning of this video. So for science-backed, we're going to give it a 5 out of 5. Like she hit the nail on the head. Let's talk about enjoyment. Overall, I really enjoyed this workout. Would I have programmed some of the exercises differently? Yeah, but I'm not gonna hold that against Amy. Every coach has their own preferences, their own background, their own style, and I fully respect that. I think in every single one of the workouts I've done during this series, there's been something I would have programmed differently, but I'm not gonna take points off for that unless it like doesn't support the science. Let's start with the things that I loved. Live cueing. My goodness, this is a coach. This is someone who has obviously worked with people one-on-one, worked with people in a group fitness setting, knows how to run a class, she knows how to run a room. And not only did I love the live cueing, she also gave form corrections, she gave modifications, she even gave different variations of where to hold your weight based off of A, the intensity that you want to desire, or B, the workout equipment that you have at home. This is something I always try to do in my virtual classes because I understand that not everybody has like a full home gym. Not everybody has unlimited access to equipment. So for example, you can change the intensity of an exercise based off of where you're holding the weight. So let's take, for example, the offset suitcase reverse lunge. That was so many words that Amy had programmed. Basically, you're doing a reverse lunge and you're holding one weight at your side. This is typically going to be a position for a heavy weight. Now, let's say you're working out with me at home and you don't have a heavy enough weight that would make that like a 6 out of 10 intensity, right? Because if we're thinking working for strength, which we were at this part of the workout, that's kind of the goal. Well, I would have you take the weight that you have and probably offset it onto the shoulder. This is going to challenge your core a little bit more by putting the weight on the shoulder and bring the intensity up. Let's say you have that medium weight, but this position or an offset position is too unstable for you. It's pulling you down to the side. You just don't have the stability for that position. I'm going to have you hold a goblet. So that's going to mean right at the chest. This is going to center your center of gravity basically, and it's just pulling on your core in a slightly different position. This is something I don't see a lot of coaches doing, and I absolutely love that Amy took the time to do it. It's super smart. It shows me that you know your audience, and it shows me that you're tuned into what your audience needs. That is just one example of how you could do this. You could do it with tempo changes. You could do it with different stability options, but that is one example that Amy did specifically do throughout this workout. Okay, so we're talking enjoyment. I'm gonna get nitpicky here just for a second because Amy is an excellent coach, and I think that these things just stuck with me because of that. There were two things that stuck with me throughout the workout that actually did affect my enjoyment. Number one, the warm-up. For someone who programmed such a great workout, the warm-up was like taking spaghetti and throwing it up against the wall and hoping something sticked. There were so many things. We were in nothing for a long period of time, and there was just so little tension. We talked at length about warm-ups in the Caroline Gervin day, so go check that out if you want more because we're not going to get like super involved into it in this video. But again, the reason it stuck with me is because it felt like the warm-up was from a completely different person than the actual strength portion. Again, nitpicky, but I see it all the damn time in YouTube workouts. These warm-ups are not prepping you for the actual workout. So often, warm-up gets convoluted with this idea of just like, we're gonna move our body and get really warm. But I almost wanna like get rid of the word warm-up altogether and call it movement prep. Like you're prepping for your movement. Because once you think of it from that lens, you realize, oh, I actually wanna get specific. I don't wanna just like rotate my body and fling my arms around in these uncontrolled shoulder circles. Like you wanna prep your body for the movement ahead. So anyway, the other thing that I did feel odd, it was the only cueing thing where I was just like, what? She kept saying, do you feel that MRT? I do. What? Like, what am I feeling? Do I feel that metabolic resistance training? Do I feel my anaerobic and aerobic systems working? Do I feel my muscles and my heart rate? I don't know. It just felt very like, feel the burn kind of vibes. And it was so weird. Again, it stuck with me because it was so bizarre compared to the rest of the workout. So before I give you my score, I just want to remind you that this is just for my personal enjoyment and none of these numbers mean anything. This is simply what my heart desires and enjoys. And I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. Again, those two things just really took me out of the workout. I'm still thinking about it now, and I would have enjoyed the workout a lot more otherwise. But again, this is based on one workout. It is not a reflection of Amy as a whole. It seems like she is super knowledgeable and probably one of the better coaches, in my opinion, who put out consistent, free programs. And I would definitely recommend checking her out. Let's pick tomorrow's workout. Oh my God, I'm so hungry. I have to eat after this. Okay, quick pick. We are doing Boho Beautiful. Never heard of her. Let's do a quick Google search. It's yoga. Wait, do you see that? Do you see that creepy cat? Zoe, come here. Yes, yes, yes. Strut, strut.
You better strut like you mean it. Free your mind, it's not enough just to dream it. Come on, come on, get up.
All right, you want to do the outro? Come here. You're gonna get cheese after this. You're gonna be a good girl. All right, everybody. Me and Zoe. We're oh no, oh no, oh no.
We're
All right, before anyone gets mad at me and says that I'm tormenting my cat, relax, she's dramatic. I'm gonna say goodbye from here because this cat is terrifying me. Tomorrow we're doing some yoga from Boho Beautiful. Wish me luck, bye.